Today is an exciting day here at ESL Universe. For months, we have been slowly building up our knowledge and understanding of each of the sounds of English. As I'm sure you've noticed, the vowel sounds tend to be a bit more on the complicated side of things, making them a challenge to master. If you haven't watched the videos for the previous sounds, I highly suggest going back and watching them. Don't do it all at once, since that can just lead to confusion. Rather, focus on each sound and practice perfecting it for a couple of days before adding in a new sound. Either way, the reason that today is so exciting is that we have finally reached our last vowel sound. This is the R-Controlled Schwa sound. If you remember, the schwa sound is interesting because it always makes the same sound regardless of the vowel written to represent it. This has to do more with the syllables in a word and which ones are stressed and unstressed. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, please pause the video and go back to watch the video on the schwa sound now before continuing to watch this video. This will help you to more fully understand how our R-Controlled Schwa sound can be represented by many vowel letters. One of the most challenging aspects of the R-Controlled Schwa sound is that there is no vowel sound made. Let me repeat that because it's really important. In the R-Controlled Schwa sound, the vowel is written but not pronounced, meaning that the sound moves directly from the previous consonant sound into the R sound, with no vowel being produced in between. Sometimes, when learners don't understand this, they may try to include a vowel pronunciation, but this will only make your word sound incorrect. Just because you see the vowel written doesn't mean that it is pronounced. This means that the pronunciation of this sound becomes the same as the pronunciation of the R sound. For a more in-depth look at the R pronunciation, you can review the video on the R sound. In the meantime, as a quick recap, raise the middle of the back of your tongue towards the back of your mouth while lifting the sides of the back of your tongue to touch your top back teeth. It may be hard to notice how high the far back of your tongue is, since the middle of your tongue does stay lower in your mouth. Your lips should form a loose circle, with the lips being pushed away from your mouth just a bit. Your jaw should be semi-open. Remember that this is the pronunciation of the R sound, as the vowel virtually disappears in the R-Controlled Schwa sound. A key word that you can use for this sound is her. There are three common ways that we see this sound represented in spelling: ER, IR, and UR. This is because if you remember from the last couple of videos, the AR and OR spellings have their own unique pronunciation. However, it is important to note that in an unstressed syllable, any letter can come before the letter R and form the R-Controlled Schwa sound, even with the AR and OR spellings. With all of these spellings, keep in mind that having the R-Controlled Schwa sound means that you simply transition from the previous consonant sound into the R sound with no audible vowel in between. This means that the sound will never come at the beginning of a word. However, it can come both in the middle and at the end. Let's look at some practice. Burn. Heard. Girl. Word. Bird. Comfort. Learn. Ever. Curl. Jerk. After. Work. Over. Worm. Confirm. Worry. turn, perhaps, were, first, world, return, shirt, forget, doctor, dollar, honor, grammar, stir, her. Do you notice how each of these words include one of those disappearing vowels regardless of which vowel is written? If you didn't notice, that's okay. But then I highly recommend listening again and trying to hear the lack of vowel sound when combined in an R-Controlled Schwa sound. Let's try a sentence. Perhaps her ignorance of words were a concern as she quickly learned the verbs turn, worry, stir, and return. Perhaps her ignorance of words were a concern as she quickly learned the verbs turn, worry, stir, and return. Congratulations on learning the last vowel sound, which, as it turns out, isn't much of a vowel after all. Just a few letters left now until we have reviewed each sound of English independently. Subscribe to my channel to make sure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Until next time, have a great day.